For thousands of years, ancient yogis and Buddhist monks have emphasized the importance of one powerful concept: observation. Observation means paying close attention to something. By focusing our attention on something, we can influence how events unfold in our lives. This simple practice can help shape our reality. In this video, I want to explore how we can use our attention to change our lives. Attention is a powerful force that can help us create the reality we desire. When we learn to control where we place our attention, we can actively shape the events that happen to us. Understanding how to direct attention is key to co-creating our reality. This video will guide you on how to use attention as a tool for transformation. It will show you how the way we focus our attention can change the story of our lives. By mastering this skill, you can become better at creating the life you want. Together, we will explore the powerful impact of attention and how it influences our everyday experiences. We shall traverse the landscape of understanding the profound influence our attention wields in shaping the very fabric of existence. But to understand this, we need to grasp how energy flows. Every time you feel stuck in life, like you're working towards something that just doesn't happen, or similar situations keep coming up like a roller coaster ride, or the same relationships you attract, it's important to understand where the energy gets stagnant. What most people don't realize is that our attention operates in two different ways: polar and non-polar attention. Polar attention works like a magnet. It can either attract or repel things in our reality. For example, when we face a problem, we can choose to see it from a different angle, and it may reveal a solution. This is the nature of polar attention. It pulls in certain experiences while pushing others away. In addition to polar attention, there is another type called non-polar attention. This kind of attention is neutral, meaning it doesn't attract or repel anything. Instead, non-polar attention simply allows things to exist without influencing them. It has the power to dissolve reality as we know it, which can shift our focus towards new possibilities and outcomes, particularly when it comes to manifesting desired events in our lives. To better understand, let's break down polar attention further into two categories: positive and negative. When we focus on positive thoughts, life doesn't care about whether the feeling behind it is good or bad, it only responds to what we focus on. Similarly, when we focus on negative thoughts, we attract unwanted situations. Our biology is wired for survival, so we tend to operate from a place of fear, constantly looking for danger. This deeply affects how we experience life, as our attention is often stuck in this survival mode, shaping our reality through fear and protection. Our survival instincts are incredibly strong, pushing us to avoid danger at all costs. This drive to eliminate or escape from threats is built into our biology. As a result, we naturally develop a protective mindset, always trying to stay safe. This means we often avoid conflict or any situation that might seem risky. While this instinct helps keep us alive, it also limits us by keeping us in a constant state of alertness. Because of this protective mindset, many people find themselves stuck in a cycle of worry and fear. We stay in our comfort zones, afraid to step into the unknown or take chances. This constant focus on safety leaves a lasting impact, making it hard to break free from fear-driven thinking. We get used to worrying, and it becomes a part of our everyday life, preventing us from fully experiencing new opportunities or personal growth. The media and social platforms further amplify this fear-driven mindset. News outlets and social media are often filled with negative stories and frightening events, which grab our attention. These platforms know that fear is a powerful emotion, and they use it to shape how we see the world. As a result, our perceptions are often manipulated, and we become more fearful and anxious, constantly focused on potential threats instead of possibilities. Many individuals are deeply committed to protecting their beliefs and values, often going to great lengths to defend what they hold dear. This strong sense of devotion to their ideals can be admirable, as it shows a deep level of conviction and loyalty. However, this dedication can also have a downside. When people are so focused on defending their views, they might become blind to the broader picture or to other perspectives. In their passion to protect what they believe in, they may miss the underlying realities of a situation. Emotions like anger and fear play a significant role in this process. These emotions are powerful and can easily be exploited by others, especially those who seek to manipulate. When we are angry or afraid, our actions often become more reactive, and we may not think things through clearly. Manipulators can use these emotions to steer our behavior in directions that suit their own agendas. As a result, people can be pushed into making decisions or taking actions that they might not have chosen if they were thinking more calmly or logically. In this way, fear, anger, and pride act as societal shackles. These emotions trap individuals in patterns of behavior that may not align with their true desires or values. Instead of acting out of free will, people find themselves directed by these strong emotions, often toward negative or harmful behaviors. This emotional manipulation can lead us away from what we truly want or believe in, clouding our judgment and influencing our actions in ways that don't serve our best interests. This is the juncture where neutral or nonpolar attention assumes significance, a topic we will delve into shortly. Presently, it's crucial to grasp the existence of two distinct attention types, positive and negative. Life solely focuses on the content of our attention, on what commands our predominant focus, especially if our current reality involves standing at a crossroads in our life path. When facing a challenge at work, whether it's with a coworker, an employee, or another issue, our perspective plays a pivotal role in determining how we navigate the situation. It's easy to let frustration or anxiety cloud our judgment, but how we choose to view the problem can make all the difference. By shifting our mindset to see the challenge as an opportunity for growth, we open the door to resilience and strength. When we approach difficulties with a positive outlook, we're more likely to tap into creative solutions, and as a result, we invite positive energy and outcomes into our experience. The situation becomes a stepping stone for personal and professional development rather than a stumbling block. Conversely, if we allow ourselves to spiral into negative thinking, telling ourselves, "This is terrible," or "This is going to be a disaster," we invite negative energy into our lives. Our focus on the worst-case scenario becomes a self-fulfilling prophecy, attracting outcomes that align with our fears. Life doesn't discriminate between positive or negative attention, it simply amplifies what we focus on. If we fixate on failure or disaster, that's exactly what we're likely to experience. The energy we send out, whether optimistic or pessimistic, shapes the reality we create, which is why it's so important to consciously direct our thoughts toward solutions and growth, even in the face of difficulty. Our emotional response to a challenge is a powerful force that can either propel us forward or hold us back. Often, when we perceive something as bad or overwhelming, it's rooted in fear, fear of failure, fear of loss, or fear of the unknown. This fear-driven reaction is deeply ingrained in our survival instincts, causing us to magnify the problem in our minds. Instead of focusing on resolution, we become fixated on the potential threats, which only makes the situation seem worse. The key is to recognize these automatic responses and consciously shift toward a mindset of possibility. By reframing challenges as opportunities for growth, we can break the cycle of fear and move toward a more empowered, productive outcome. The fundamental issue here is that there must be a correspondence between the heart and the mind. When you feel something negative in your heart, the mind immediately starts generating negative thoughts, which in turn causes those thoughts to manifest. This moves you into a corresponding lifeline where more negative things happen. However, the crucial element here is nonpolar, neutral attention. When we perceive something that has happened to us with nonpolar, neutral attention, it simply enters our lives and passes. It has no power over us. For example, in an unpleasant situation, you can simply look at it and accept it. There's neither positivity nor negativity towards it. You would continue on the same life path as before, nothing would really change, and the situation would just dissolve. Most people resist their past traumas and fears by giving them negative attention. Think about how this happens. Whenever something unpleasant happens in the past, we try to run away from it because the feelings are intense, and we don't know how to deal with them. When we run away, we're actually resisting it. And what happens when you resist something? It persists. You're giving it strength, and it exerts an opposing force on you. We spend our whole lives resisting all the things that have happened in the past that we don't like, and we live from that place of trauma. As a result, situations that confirm this trauma keep coming up. Remember, there are always two sides to a coin. It's up to you. The choice of how to perceive something is 100% yours. Now that you understand this, let's talk about how to use it to create reality effectively. The first thing we need to do is combine polar and non-polar attention. This is crucial, so pay close attention. There are 3 main steps to using it, and if you follow them, all the energy you devote to that negative attention will dissipate, leaving you more energy to feed the positive version of reality you want to create. Let's dive deeper into how this process works. The first and most important step is acceptance. Often, when we find ourselves in situations that feel like an abyss, when we've hit rock bottom, it's natural to resist the reality of what's happening. However, resistance only creates more tension and frustration, preventing us from moving forward. Acceptance, on the other hand, is about acknowledging what is, without judgment or denial. It's not about liking the situation or giving up, rather, it's about making peace with the present moment as it is. By doing this, we release the internal struggle that keeps us stuck. Only when we accept the reality of our circumstances can we begin to navigate our way out. It's crucial to understand that resistance and acceptance cannot coexist. Resistance keeps us trapped in a cycle of negativity, constantly battling what we don't want to face. This inner conflict drains our energy, leaving us feeling powerless and stuck. On the contrary, acceptance acts as the antidote to resistance, offering a sense of relief and clarity. When we stop fighting against what has already happened, we free up our energy to focus on moving forward. The energy we've been using to resist can now be redirected toward growth and transformation. This shift in energy allows us to get out of our own way, clearing the path for new possibilities to emerge. In many cases, our goals and desires are ready to manifest, but our resistance is what holds them back. We often stand in our own way, clouding the path with doubt, fear, and unnecessary obstacles. Our dreams are waiting for us to simply step aside, to let go of the need to control every detail, and to trust that things will unfold as they should. When we accept the present moment and release resistance, we align ourselves with the natural flow of life. This alignment allows our goals to manifest effortlessly, as the energy we've been using to block our progress is now available to support our success. All we need to do is get out of the way and allow the process to unfold. We start with total acceptance of the current situation. Whatever problems are in your life right now, whatever you feel stuck in, or whatever your worst nightmare is, imagine that this has happened. You're totally on board with it happening, and you see how life goes on despite it happening. You're no longer worried about your worst nightmare, you're no longer haunted by it. This concept is absolutely fundamental because many people have the misconception that by accepting the worst-case scenario, they are somehow inviting it into their lives. They think, if I allow myself to accept this outcome, won't that make it more likely to happen? The truth is, no, it won't. In fact, the opposite is true. Acceptance does not mean you're actively attracting the negative, it means you're no longer giving it the power of your resistance. When we resist, we give energy to the very thing we fear, keeping it alive and prominent in our minds. Acceptance, on the other hand, diffuses that energy, taking away the emotional charge that resistance creates. When you continue to resist the worst-case scenario, you're unintentionally feeding it with your fear and anxiety. This resistance keeps the negative possibility alive in your mind, making it feel like a looming threat that you're constantly battling. The more you resist, the more you focus on the negative outcome, and in doing so, you amplify its presence in your life. Resistance traps you in a cycle where your thoughts and energy revolve around what you don't want to happen. By fighting against it, you're, in essence, pulling it closer to your reality. This is why learning to accept it can be so transformative. It breaks the cycle of feeding the negative scenario, allowing you to step back and release the energy tied to it. Acceptance brings in what we call neutral attention. It's the ability to look at a situation without attaching fear, worry, or excessive focus to it. Neutral attention means you're acknowledging the possibility of the worst-case scenario, but you're not feeding it with emotional energy. You're simply allowing it to exist as one potential outcome without making it central to your thoughts or actions. When you accept the situation with neutral attention, you stop feeding the negative energy and allow space for more positive outcomes to unfold. In this way, acceptance becomes a powerful tool, not for attracting negativity, but for releasing resistance and creating room for more balanced and positive possibilities in your life. To make a change in any area of our lives, we have to start with acceptance, total, complete, integral acceptance of this exact moment. We can't change the present moment, no matter how hard we try, because the present is constantly changing when you try to grasp it. The moment you're in has already passed, it's now part of the past, and no amount of resistance or regret will change it. The only thing you have control over is the choice you make in the next moment. Often, we get stuck in the illusion that if something undesirable happens, we have somehow failed. This belief leads us to attach our identity to our actions and outcomes, often spiraling into thoughts of worst-case scenarios. However, by fully accepting what has already occurred, we strip away its perceived power over us. Acceptance reduces the weight and importance we place on the event, allowing us to move forward without being bogged down by unnecessary emotional baggage. The second step in this process is to shift your perspective and consider how the setback or unfavorable event could actually be a blessing in disguise. It's important to understand that any event, regardless of how we initially perceive it, is inherently neutral. It's our own interpretation, our thoughts and emotions, that label it as positive, negative, or neutral. By realizing that our attention and perspective are what give meaning to events, we can start to see challenges as potential opportunities. Instead of immediately reacting with, "This is bad," we can pause and ask ourselves, what could be gained from this? How might this situation actually benefit me in the long run? This shift in focus is empowering and allows us to look beyond the surface of a situation. When we start asking ourselves how a seemingly negative event can work in our favor, we open ourselves up to new possibilities. This reframing invites creative problem solving and helps us tap into hidden opportunities that we may have missed otherwise. Every challenge carries within it the potential for growth, transformation, or a new direction. By viewing setbacks through this lens, we reduce their emotional impact and invite positive energy into our lives. Instead of being weighed down by the idea of failure, we can see the event as part of the larger journey toward personal or professional growth. In doing so, we reclaim our power and actively shape our future experiences. This is easier to do once you've already reached a state of acceptance. If you're in a state where the wound is fresh and something bad has just happened, don't expect yourself to look for blessings in disguise. Just reach a point of acceptance and understand that it really happened. When you reach a more neutral state, you can start to think about how this could potentially be positive. I extend my gratitude for joining me on this transformative journey. If this video resonated with you, I encourage you to express your connection by liking, subscribing, and sharing it with others. Share your reflections and experiences in the comments below. Thank you once more for your viewership, and I look forward to connecting with you again soon. Take care, and see you soon.